Hello Bushra, great to see you and congratulations on being shortlisted for the RPS Chamber-Scale Composition Award. We're going to have a little chat. First off, tell us about Three Tributes, your nominated piece. We at the RPS love it. What can you say about the piece and the inspiration behind it?
Well, Three Tributes is made of three little pieces inspired by, well, my whole artistic output these days is giving voice. So I'm literally giving voice to three incredible singers from the Levant region during the Nahda period, which was the Arab Renaissance from the mid-19th century to around the 1920s, 1930s. And the first tribute about the first Arab-American singer, Zakiya Agoub, or Aoub, as it's pronounced in Arabic. The first Arabic-American artist that's recorded for Columbia Records. And that was like around 1910 or something like that. So so that's the first tribute. And the second tribute is based on the singer, a Beiruti singer called Hasiba Mauche. And the third is Rasmiya Jum'a, who was a blind oud player and singer. And there's no record of any of her, no music to hear and no pictures of her. So I never knew what she looked like. But each of these tributes has, as I'm very much interested in found material, using found material. And so I've used what we call muwashahat, which is a song genre from the Andalusian times, really old music from the 9th century, Andalusia, Spain. And three muwashahats, so to speak, are kind of inflections from them are kind of used in each of these tributes. So, and when I'm, giving voice, I'm not just giving voice to these wonderful singers who are forgotten singers from that region. I'm giving voice to the musicians that are performing this music because there's some improvisation involved in there as well. So the personalities of these musicians comes through and into the music as well. Right. So we had a wonderful process to workshop this piece in Amsterdam and with the Duduk Quartet. And that involved kind of getting to know them and their responses to this music. And I kind of used that as inspiration as well. And we tried all sorts of different things with the material I wrote, and they just played through and improvised stuff as if they'd been practicing for years, but they're just so amazing at everything you ask them, but also their ideas are also like gold.
I read somewhere that you sort of think of not just writing for the instruments, but writing for the personalities, and you really feel it's an extremely respectful piece, but it's so playful as well. And the string quartet sing in it; they vocalize in it quite extensively.
Yes, I imagine the voice as an extension to the person, to the instrument, it's all like. It all bleeds through, like the composition it bleeds into the improvisation, vice versa, and the singing bleeds through, as an extension of the bowed sound. So it's not too far. They're not too far from each other.
The way you talk about composing makes me want to give it a go. It's like you really put your all into it and you draw on all these different touchstones. Take us back. What made you become a composer? How did it all begin for you?
Oh, well, I started learning the cello and piano, but never really following what my teachers used to ask of me. I used to improvise around Beethoven and then try and stuff on my own, and then start writing my own stuff gradually improvising here and there and there. And I had a lot of different kinds of music growing up in the household, reaching from Kulthum and Feyruz to Mozart, etc. Western classical style, and Frank Sinatra as well, and all sorts of things. You can't. It's all part of it, isn't it? And then eventually, I turned 17, eventually. And I had this blackbird. It was the second day of the millennium. That gives my age a little bit. Second of the millennium, I heard a blackbird twittering this rhythm, and it was relentless. And I imagined this whole orchestral piece, which wrote itself. And I went to tell my mom, like, I'm so happy, I feel so inspired, I need to write it. And it wrote itself. It's one of the few times a composer will tell you that the piece has wrote itself, because you're like, oh, I can't, oh, this is so rubbish, you know. So that's what happened. It was such a creative year. I was writing stories, writing music, and eventually I was advised to apply for here and there, the Guildhall, which I got into, luckily, and kind of inspired by my teacher there at the time, Julian Phillips, who got me to, well, he says, you have to follow your roots. And I'm like, follow my roots? What do you mean? I don't feel at home anywhere. I'm always in flux between worlds and constantly in transition. Right. And that's, I guess, this kind of search for home plays a big part in my musical output till now.
So much I'd love to talk about, but could you tell us about one or two particular musical influences? I know your music draws on so many different things, but are there any particular icons or who you go back to who are big inspirations?
Ooh, in terms of musical icons, gosh. Okay, so thinking of all the genres. Well,
as well as Frank Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra. Oh gosh. I never get tired of Stravinsky or Ligeti. I never get tired of Kulthum, the Egyptian diva, as she is described. Gosh, the influences really range. I love the Gagaku court music, which is the classical music of Japan. Right. Lots of different art musics that spring up across the world. That's alongside Western classical music.
I think so many of us in music, we just get kind of stuck in our lane, and we kind of like gravitate around what's familiar to us and what we trust. But just listening to you just makes me want to go out there and explore. That's what you do, right? You just open all doors and anything for the taking.
Yeah, it's so hard not to live in our silos, isn't it? I mean, as listeners, but not only as listeners, but as creative artists, you want to be inspired by across the art forms and life and nature and different musics and classical music throughout the ages has always had it's always kind of been an sense of osmosis of being influenced by different Eastern traditions, for example.
Sure, of course, yeah. So we hope more people hear 3 tributes as a result of it being nominated for an RPS award. What's it feel like being shortlisted for an RPS award?
Oh, what an honor and pleasure and privilege. It's such a rare thing. My publisher told me it's very, it's rare, I guess. What a brilliant thing, because you just never know. You just never know who the panel is, right?
Yeah, who's been saying this? Who's been listening to your music? What's going on? All will be revealed very soon. Big question, have you planned your outfit?
Oh, that is a big question. That will remain the big question right until the very, until we get out of that door and then go into the...
Same for me. Are you allowed to tell us about any of the projects you have going on this year or coming up?
Oh, yes, I can tell you about some things. So the Royal Ballet is performing a piece of mine alongside 2 other composers under the banner of Alchemies by Wayne McGregor. It'll be a new dance work for him, but it was a stage adaptation of Ka, which is a piece for percussion and strings, which Bebe Wang will perform in.
Brilliant.
So that's one wonderful thing in London.
When is that?
So that's April the 18th, I believe, is the premiere. There'll be 6 performances in the main stage. And so that's very exciting. And something at the Lucerne Festival.
Oh, wow.
So that's I guess so. Also very excited about that, and other things that have not been announced yet.
Watch this space. Great. Well, hey, it's been great to talk to you, and we look forward to seeing you at the RPS Awards on Thursday, the 12th of March. Thanks, Bushra.
My pleasure.